on there about being part of the labor movement, but we did give you a bit of leeway because you are the only non-partisan person here, and you are here as an analyst, so you don't represent any of the particular political parties. So in that respect, we gave you a bit of leeway. But let me now call upon our next speaker, the former finance minister, and I would want to, again, giving you 5 minutes, but perhaps apart from just giving an analysis, one would want to know if you were still in the same shoes that you were in a few years back and were in the portfolio that the minister was in. What would you have done to remedy the situation that we are in now? Please put your hands together. Honorable Tendai Biti is former finance minister and from the MDC renewal team.
I'll state. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a pleasure to have these dialogues with fellow Zimbabweans. Doctor, I'm going to use some of your slides to illustrate 1 or 2 points that I want to make. The first point I want to make is that there was wrong hygiene and legality with the presentation of the midterm statement by Patrick Namasa last week on Thursday. It's a midterm statement. It's a review of the midterm statement. So the law in section 28 of the Public Finance Management Act says that has to be presented at least by July. So you can't present a statement in September and call it a midterm statement. In fact, it was better off actually present the budget for next year, the 2015 budget, than to actually present a midterm statement. The other hygiene issue is that you cannot present tax measures without, on the day of the presentation, first giving notice to Parliament and then tabling a Finance Act before Parliament. This is so in terms of section 305, 306, 307 of the new constitution of Zimbabwe. This did not happen. None of you have seen a Finance Act. And as a result, and quite correctly so, only this afternoon, the Speaker of Parliament ruled that that presentation was null and void because there had not been presentation of the Finance Act. And for me, I find it totally unacceptable that for a lawyer, a Minister of Justice for so many years, a negotiator of that same constitution, you can make these elementary mistakes that have cost the public because we have paid the duties that were effective last week on Friday. These hygiene issues are not in fact hygiene issues. They are a reflection of the structural cluelessness of our colleagues in ZANU-PF. But it's enough, we can forgive you for being cluelessness, but we can't forgive you for being cruel. The tax measures, and I'm not going to speak about that. My brief is not to speak on the cruel revenue measures that were expounded in the revenue measures, the raising on duty on foodstuffs, on fuel, on handsets, on airtime. But just the insensitiveness of imposing those measures is a reflection that not only are they clueless, but they're also very cruel, because those measures were cruel. But I want to come to the essence of my address, which is that it is common cause that we've got a structural economic crisis in Zimbabwe. That much is common cause. 85% of the people are now in informal employment. We've got debt levels that are exceeding 11 billion US dollars. We have got a current account, that is the ratio between exports and imports. That is a ratio of 4:1. In other words, for every dollar that comes in the form of imports, $4 go out in the form of exports. We've got a crisis of production. People are not producing. So we have a crisis. What the midterm statement needed to do was actually to unpack the nature of the crisis. If you've got an economic crisis, unpack the nature of that crisis. And if you unpack the nature of the crisis, you will actually find out that we are actually in the middle of a recession. We actually find that we are in the middle of a recession. Now, a recession is defined technically. These are the doctors, Dr. Mashakada and Dr. Kanyenzi. And I was saying to them before I came here that, gentlemen, I want to state publicly that I will never have a PhD for an obvious reason. The technical definition of a recession is when you have in 2 successive quarters. Economic data is measured in quarters. So when you have in 2 successive quarters declines in economic growth rates, i.e. negative growth rates in 2 economic quarters, then you have got an economic recession. Now if you look at Zimbabwe now, these are our growth rates. In 2009, our growth rate was 5.4%. In 2010, our growth rate was 10.4%. In 2011, our growth rate was almost 12%. It was 11.9%. In fact, in 2011, we were actually the fastest growing economy in the world, not just on the African economy. In 2012 now, so that's 1 year now, 1 year later, in 2012, our growth rate was 10.6. So from 11.9 to 10.6, that's a year of